Once upon a time, in a quiet little town where the stars danced in the sky, there lived a small boy named Leo. Leo's biggest dream was to touch the stars one day. Every night, he sat by his window and reached out his hands, as if he could really catch a star. One night, the sky looked different. The stars were not just shining, they seemed to be talking to each other. Leo's eyes stopped on the brightest star. It looked closer than ever, and suddenly it turned into a big ball of light. When Leo closed his eyes, a soft wind touched his face, and his room started to spin. When he opened his eyes again, he was inside a small spaceship. Through the window, he saw colorful planets, flying comets, and space fish swimming in the air. Everything was bright, magical, and beautiful. When Leo touched the control panel, a map appeared on the screen. It said, "Find the Galactic Crystal." Leo's heart started to beat fast. He had heard the story of the Galactic Crystal before. Its light could make the stars shine again and bring back lost lights. But finding it was not easy. There were 3 great challenges ahead: the sky storm, the time hole, and the endless forest planets. His ship started to glow, and Leo entered the first stop, the sky storm belt. Huge purple clouds danced with lightning. Each lightning bolt looked like the tail of a sky dragon, and the sky was full of purple and blue lights. Leo held the wheel tightly. In the middle of the storm, the clouds opened like a giant whirlpool. Leo's heart was full of fear and excitement, but he didn't give up. Suddenly, a rainbow light appeared and carried his ship out of the storm. The second stop was the time hole. Around him, clocks, hourglasses, and shining rings were floating. Time was moving very slowly there. Leo's hands felt heavy, and even his breath slowed down. But the courage in his heart was stronger than time. He closed his eyes and listened to his heart. At that moment, a soft light came from the ship's engine, and time started to move normally again. Leo continued his journey. The third stop was the endless forest planets. These planets were floating in space, each shining in a different color. One had blue trees, another had pink rivers. Leo's ship landed gently on the planet with blue trees. In the forest, there were giant leaves, glowing flowers, and flying light creatures. Every step Leo took made little lights appear on the ground. Deep in the forest stood a golden temple. In the middle of the temple, on a tall stone column, the Galactic Crystal was shining. But when Leo got close, big stones rose from the floor. It was an ancient protection system. Star-shaped stones were turning, and glowing lines were moving around Leo. He stepped carefully. With every step, new stones formed a path. Finally, he reached the crystal. He stretched out his hands and took it. When he touched the crystal, everything turned into light. Planets, stars, and galaxies spun around him. The sky shined again, and the lost stars began to glow one by one. A warm feeling filled Leo's heart. He had finished his mission, but the adventure was not over yet. The light from the crystal pulled Leo's ship in another direction. A new word appeared on the map, the star maze. His ship entered a huge tunnel of light. At the end of the tunnel, there was a shining maze made of stars. The walls were lights, and every light showed a different way. Leo moved the ship carefully. One path led to a spiral galaxy, another to a black hole. He listened to his heart and followed the warmest light. At the end of the maze, a heart of light was shining. That heart was like the heartbeat of the galaxy. As Leo came closer, the stars moved with the beat. Inside the light, he saw pictures of many little planets. When Leo placed the crystal in the heart, the star maze turned into a living sky. Even the darkest corners filled with light. Just when he started to relax, a shadow appeared behind his ship. It was the dark dust storm, a giant cosmic whirlpool that stole the light of stars. The huge storm came closer, and the ship began to shake. Warning lights flashed on the screen. Leo didn't panic. He took a deep breath and used the crystal's light to cover the ship. The light started to push the storm back. but the storm was very strong. Leo made the whole ship shine brighter and brighter until the darkness disappeared. Space became quiet again. Leo took a deep breath. But this silence was different. In the middle of space, the sky started to change colors. The dark turned into gold and pink. A giant planet appeared in front of him, the planet of dreams. This planet was made from the dreams of children. There were soft clouds, flying books, and castles floating in the sky. Leo landed on the planet. When he stepped on the ground, stardust sparkled under his feet. Colorful rain was falling from the sky, and every drop made a musical sound. As he walked, the colors around him changed. On the top of a mountain, he saw a glowing lake. It was called the Mirror of Dreams. When Leo looked into it, he didn't see his reflection. He saw the light of the whole universe. In that moment, he understood. The Galactic Crystal was not only for stars. It was also for the light inside people's hearts. A light came from the lake and surrounded his ship. Leo was back inside, but he was not the same. He was now a guardian of the stars. As his ship moved toward home, Leo looked out one last time. Every star he saw became a story in his heart. The courage of the sky storm, the patience of the time hole, the beauty of the endless forest, the mystery of the star maze, and the magic of the planet of dreams. Suddenly, his ship started to spin in bright lights. When he opened his eyes, he was back in his room again. Through the window, the sky looked brighter than ever. That night, the stars were not just shining, they were smiling at Leo. Leo lay down in his bed. Now he knew that if you believe with your heart, no star is far away. And maybe one day, another light would call him to a new adventure.